is Monday, July 25th, 2022. I'm here with Chris Ruffalo and Brian Bittler. Of course, we're here with our live show. We are live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We don't take a break. We don't have a press release about our shows that we're starting a new show or something like that. We just keep showing up and doing shows, and that's kind of what we do. I'd like to welcome our new capper, Sven Burns.
The goose.
Sorry, that plays only minus 190. It's got to be minus 200 minimum in order to qualify.
Too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. Monday here. I'm actually in a good mood for Monday. I changed my workout, so I'm training for marathon, and I started last week. I'm up to about 2.5 miles. And so I'm just really not pushing it. But I added in an aerobic half-hour workout after it starting this week. So, but I'm doing like some interval training, where I'm doing, I'm running about 2.5 miles, but I'm doing it in about 30 minutes. It's super slow for me. But I'm doing, walking with, sprinting, doing some inclines and things like that. So I'm trying not to push it too hard because that's what I do, right? And then I injure myself, and it sets me back. But I'm trying to do it in a way that I might not have the impressive numbers that I will, when I get ready to run the marathon. But I have numbers that to me are increasingly getting better. And, will help me build, because the way that it generally works for me is like, I'll start to run and it's like first time out, I'll do like 1 mile, and it's like, then, I start to build up from there. And then I get to about 3 or 4 miles, 5 miles. And then one day I'm just able to stretch it out to 10 plus. And, that's pretty much the way that it works for me. And, my time, like my marathon time is about 3 hours. So it's like, I have a long way to go. To get there. So probably shooting for next fall, but, we'll see if I can get there earlier. So maybe Chicago next fall I'll shoot for. See if I can crack 3 hours in the Windy City. I think I can. Chris, you want to join me?
I'll be the guy that hands you the cup of water every couple months.
It's like I asked for water, not a cheese plate.
You'd still take it though. I mean,
no, I'm not like when I run like races. I'm not a grab the water guy. I'm not.
Really? Okay.
No, I'm not, and I should do it more often, because I will cramp up from time to time. But I'm not a grab the water, go to the water table. The only time I grab the water is I'll hit it on my forehead if it's really hot.
I was gonna say, if you don't want that, I could just run by with the spray fan bottle and just run by. I'll be wearing the Cubs suck T-shirt, not fitting in, and just.
I don't think you'd be running by. You'd have to be on one of those carts.
I'll do this.
Spray them as you're going by.
I should show a picture of the last time I ran. I had my Sports Chat shirt with I had a T-shirt because it was freezing cold, so I had the Sports Chat T-shirt with like a long thermal underneath it, like a running shirt underneath it. But I had the Sports Chat. It was actually pretty cool. It was in Chicago. It's a good setup. It's fun. I like running. It kind of clears my head, It hurts my feet. But it's the way it is. Anyways, got baseball going on. I've been terrible with my big play. I mean, I came out of the All-Star break. Went into the All-Star break. It was so hot. And, I was worried about the All-Star break, breaking up that mojo I had going, and sure as hell has happened. And it's like, I don't know, man. I'm just picking the squarest, crappiest plays. But everyone knows, when I bounce out of it, it's usually in a big way. But this is the worst I've been on my $15 big play since I've started. I own that,
I was horrible going in the break. I think I lost 6 in a row, so I kind of needed it.
Yeah, this is my longest losing streak ever with the big plays. So I'm going to bounce out of it. I'm going to go on it. I've had winning streaks way longer than this losing streak. So it's it's not like the end of the world, but it's like, man, it's like I feel bad for everybody, and I also feel worse for it's bad for myself, because I bet my picks too. So believe me, it hasn't been that fun being on the business end of some of those things. I just think, like, when you lose, right, when you go on a tough run, it just seems to pour, right? It just seems to pour. Like, You can't catch a break. To me, the whole run has been summed up by that Manny Machado not calling the third strike, and then the next pitch, it's a 2-run home run, which is the difference in the game. I mean, that to me sums it all up, you know? I don't know.
I think we've all had at least one of those this season.
If you've ever bet on sports over a prolonged period of time, you've had bad runs, and you've had runs where it's like, I can't lose.
Yeah.
You know, but you know the nice thing is at Pick Dogs, you know, James Clark and Chris, and you know, been killing it. You know, it's like, so there's other places to go. I don't, you know, Romanelli's rundown pick since the break has been straight fire too. Again, he's gone on some amazing heaters on that thing, and he's on one right now. So you know, Brian,
3 or 4 days since the break, I've had positive.
Yeah,
days,
so Brian's rating the ship as well. So you know. That's the beauty of having, you know, a bunch of different cappers. It's like, hey, if it's not me winning, you know, it's like you get that credit. You can use it on whatever capper you want, you know, which is the good thing. But there's plenty of games today. And I'll tell you, usually I come off of these cold stretches and I really light it up. And I wish Big Al was here. I had some questions for him. We've had some really interesting discussion with Big Al over the last few days before the shows, and I know these guys were there for him. And you know, they know, and I think there's just some interesting things going on out there. Anyways, we've got the Cincinnati Reds against the Miami Marlins. Trevor Rogers might be the odd man out of this Marlins rotation, but he is a lefty. So, you know, it's not like the Marlins don't have other lefties, but he is a lefty. Nick Lodolo on the other side of it. Then we've got Max Fried and the Braves heading to Philly. Philly's just looked absolutely hideous over the weekend. Really, they haven't sealed their fate, but let's just say they didn't help themselves. And then we've got the Orioles, who have a pitching change for this one. It's Voth against Corey Kluber.
Who was it before Voth? I didn't notice they had one that was scratched.
I believe it was someone else. Anyways, Chris, what do you think of these three gems?
Yeah, Gems has put it nicely, but you know, I do like the Yurfie in that Marlins and Reds game. You know, Trevor Rogers, we all love betting the Yurfie with him on the mound. He has been better, but especially on the road. But I still think this is a spot where the runs are going to come early. So give me the Yurfie in that one, and I'm going to take the Baltimore Orioles again. I think that, you know, Orioles keep getting no respect. They're pulling their Rodney Dangerfield act right now, and the Tampa Bay Rays did not look good against the Kansas City Royals. I can excuse Baltimore, you know, losing 2 or 3 to the Yankees. They were still a thorn in the Yankees side for much of that series. And for me, this is just, I think this should be closer to a coin flip, even odds on either side. So give me the Baltimore Orioles here, plus money.
Brian?
For me in these matchups, I was really hot and heavy on the Miami Marlins this morning, but I'm a little bit worried because you look at Nick Lodolo's minor league history. He's had really strong minor league numbers, and Trevor Rogers has struggled this year. I'm always waiting for I'm always waiting for Rogers to just turn it on. He just doesn't. But for me, I'm going to lean towards the Marlins and the plus money there. But it's just the lean, and I'm going to lean towards the Philadelphia Phillies, but I'm going to take the plus 1.5. I think the Braves beat them by 1. I mean, Max Fried is far and away the better pitcher. The Braves are a much better team. But the Phillies, these are the type of games, I'm sure this is a circle series. Maybe they took the Cubs lightly and got their butts kicked. But I think the Phillies lose this game by a run today.
I agree with you, Brian. I think you take the Braves, you lay 2.5 to 4.5 runs, and you just, you know, go to bed, take a nap, eat some popcorn, because I think, you know, what we've seen from the Atlanta Braves in recent years, you know, especially last season and this season, is that this is a team that's back-end loaded. They started the season once again very slow, and all of a sudden, you know, here they are turning it on again. Max Fried is a guy that kind of starts the season slow, and he gets it going. He got it going a little earlier this season, but now this is the Braves' time, and the Philadelphia Phillies are the opposite end of the coin. We saw it last year, you know, the major choke down the stretch when they were trying to make a playoff run, and I expect to see some choke in here again. We saw the Chicago Cubs make them look absolutely silly over the weekend. Now they're playing against a first-place team who, we saw the Toronto Blue Jays put up 25 runs against the Boston Red Sox in a game. I think this is that type of game where the Braves could put up 25 to 30 runs with Nola pitching tomorrow. I like the Braves team total over 20. Anyways.
Yeah, but the Phillies have been screwing you lately.
All right, 17 and a half. 17 and a half.
It'd be like the Phillies to actually do well in this game.
17 and a half. I like the Braves plus 4.5 runs in this one then.
Oh, there you go.
Premium pick.
Minus 700.
It's my premium pick. It's too good to be true. What I'll do is I'll have like a bunch of guys like send out a bunch of tweets about how great I am. And I'll give out picks like that. I won't have given out a favorite since 2017. Or a dog since 2017. You gotta be kidding me.
Phillies are a weird team, that's for sure.
They are a weird team. It's like just when you have like any kind of faith in them whatsoever, they lay an egg, and anytime you write them off is when they kind of come on. So I just can't get them.
Suarez is a weird pitcher. Like he's nowhere near max rate, but sometimes he'll go 6-7 strong and keep the Phillies within it. I don't know. This is just a weird game. Wouldn't shock me if it was one run. We'll see. I've been wrong before.
It would shock me if it was one run.
The Braves plus 3.5 minus 1450.
I'll tell you, I'm going to buck the trend here and good vibe everyone that's on the Reds here because I know a lot of people are on the Reds. I'm gonna take the Marlins in this one. I think Trevor Rogers is a guy that's actually pretty good, and he's a lot better than what we've seen. And maybe he's back end loaded because I think he's just a better pitcher than what we've seen. I know he is. I know he's a better pitcher. And what we've seen is that he's moved off those Yerfies, and it's moved back to the second inning. So maybe it goes to the third today. Who knows? But I think Trevor Rogers is definitely a better pitcher than what we've seen. In fact, last season there was a point where he was the number one in the Marlins pitching staff, ahead of Alcantara, who I guess I didn't realize, and I knew that. I knew that Sandy should have been the starter in the All-Star game, right? I mean, he was definitely the best pitcher over the first half, right? I mean, he's clearly. I mean, then he might not have the wins, losses, and all that other stuff, but when you look at the numbers and how many pitches he's thrown and how deep he goes into games and all that kind of stuff, and the numbers of numbers, he's the best pitcher in baseball. Him and Verlander are the two top ones, and the thing is that they gave Kershaw the start in L.A. and Alcantara, took the high road on it, He knew he should have been the starter, And he took the high road because the game was in L.A. and they gave the start to Kershaw. And it was kind of like, if the game's anywhere else, Alcantara's the starter, right? I mean, he's clearly the better pitcher. Yeah. But it's not starter in the All-Star game is not a lifetime achievement award. Being on the roster is, but I don't know. I struggle with it. I struggle with it because I think, you don't know if you're ever going to have a year like that again. And Alcantara is just amazing. But I think Trevor Rogers can be that lefty in the rotation for the Marlins if they hang on to him. I think he's a better pitcher than what we've seen.
Yep.
With that being said, I know a lot of people are really confident on the Reds today. So,
yeah, I don't get it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I will say this: I've been wrong before.
Well, Dole has put up good numbers in the minors. So.
I'll tell you what, Ruffalo, the laughing at that isn't quite the sucking up that we're looking for over here.
Yeah. Could sit here and sulk.
Anyways. Got what do you got for sale today, Chris?
Well, for me, I got my $15 pickoff play. Hit another one yesterday, so now we're up to 12-2 in our last 14 pickoff plays. Hoping to keep those numbers going today. Like I said, I got that $15 play, or I got my Monday Moonshot MLB 3-pack, $40 a Pick Dogs Premium. That $15 play not included in the 3-pack, so I got 4 plays total. Or if you want to make the best bang for your buck, check out the long-term Christmas in July. You're running out of time to take advantage, so hop on one of those.
How about you, Brian?
Nope, cash my titanium best bet yesterday. You can get my titanium play for $15 at pickdogs.com premium picks. Since it's coming back from All-Star break, 3 of 4 days have been winning days. You can get my 3-pack, my money shot 3-pack that includes my AL game of the month in there for just $50 at pickdogs.com.
I've got my $15 big play. I'm still working on some of my other picks. So be sure to grab those. Anyways, let's go to our next set.
I think I could bet every game on the card today, honestly.
I think I can too.
Except for maybe the last couple. But.
Oh, the Tigers taking on the Padres. We've got the Red Sox taking on the Guardians. And the Cubs taking on the Pirates. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the Cleveland Guardians in this spot. The Boston Red Sox look lifeless against the Blue Jays for the most part. And now, they've lost 5 in a row, 9 of 10, and they've been getting their butts whooped for the better part of that. And Cleveland, Zach Plesac, not my ideal guy to be taken on the road, but he hasn't been terrible, and that's not what we can say about Nick Pivetta, who's been garbage in the month of July. So, give me the Cleveland Guardians in that one. I'm also going to lean towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. I just think JT Brubaker, he's better than his numbers would suggest. He does have a poor road record, but I'm just not into laying minus 140 with the Cubs here, even on a bit of a win streak. So give me the Pirates in a lean.
Brian?
Yeah, I think there's a very strong slot. I'll pick 2 out. I really like the Cleveland Guardians tonight with Plesac. I think he's had 7 quality starts in a row, and Nick Pivetta's given up, Nick Pivetta's given up 20 runs over 13 and third innings pitched. Red Sox just looked terrible against in the last series. I like the Guardians here in the money line, and then play number 2. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line. I know that overall, over the last 58 games, the Cubs have been crushing the Pirates, but I think Pirates have won 4 of the last 5. I like the Pirates with Brubaker on the mound. He's looked better lately than he did at the beginning of the year.
This is a crazy show because we're all in agreement again. I love the Red Sox also in this one against the Guardians. I just think that, this is one of those things where you have a team, kind of like the way the Guardians had the White Sox number, I felt, in that series. The Red Sox actually have the Guardians number in a big way. They actually own them. And they're what do you call it again?
But Pivetta stinks.
They're their girlfriend. They are, because the Red Sox have won 7 in a row against the American League Central, and in fact, they've covered the run line 9 in a row against the Guardians. Ouch. I love the Red Sox in this one. They see the Guardians and their faces just light up like Christmas trees, and that's how mine does too. I'm going to take them, and of course the Pirates, because they're playing the Cubs, who at home have been absolutely miserable this season. What's the other game that we talked about? I'll Nino sit here and say, hey, what games were we talking about again?
He's sitting there, but yeah.
I mean, he's on the show. You go through 5 cappers. What are the games again? Oh yeah, the Padres against the Tigers. I like the Padres in this one. Hutchison is he's a minor leaguer pitching in the major leagues.
You dissing my Tigers?
Yeah, I am. Matter of fact, I am. We go to our next slot, and in this slot, it's just such a weird word, right? It's like one letter away. You ever watch Jeopardy? And it's like one letter away. You change the word, and it's like steak, becomes streak, and it's like
stuff
like
Wheel
that.
of Fortune.
In Jeopardy, it's always a category, one away or something. One change a letter. In this category, one letter changes the whole meaning of the word. Slot, and you be the judge. What other words can you make out of that by changing one letter?
Well, there are a couple.
Well, slow, you can make it slow, right? If you change the T to a W. Wasn't the word I was looking for. Everyone's mind went the same place. Don't even think about it. I know it.
I was thinking of clot. I don't know what you were talking about.
Could be clot. Could be blot. You know,
He's not.
could be slut. That's the word we're thinking of. Anyways, Brewers, Rockies. You know you were thinking that. Brewers, Rockies, Royals, Angels, Diamondbacks, Giants. Brian, what do you think?
I think out of this slot, I'm going to take the Colorado Rockies here plus 1.5. I think Mitch was on Colorado a lot against the Brewers, and the Ashby just at
No, with the
-200.
run line. With the run line.
Yeah, with the
plus
run
the
line,
1.5.
exactly.
And they covered like no one's business.
And I think
just
they-
one
I
game
think
they
you
did.
take,
Just one game. It was the
I
only
think you
one.
take the plus 1.5 here. Ashby way overpriced. Freeland he's not anything special, but he pitches a little bit better on the road. I think this is going to be a slugfest again. I'll take the Rockies plus 1.5.
Slug, another word. You can change a letter, right? Anyways, Chris, it could be a slut fest.
I like those two.
Or slum fest. You know, who the hell knows? This is terrible.
I can never have one where it's just
Oh,
easy
man.
for me.
Baseball season. It's baseball season.
Yeah, it's a slut fest, all right. I'm gonna go with. I can't. I'm gonna go with the Colorado Rockies here as well on the run line. The Rockies hitting 288 against lefties this season. Now the best team in the league in terms of hitting against lefties, in terms of batting average coming into today. And like Brian said, Aaron Ashby for me, just not a -196 pitcher. I think that all the value here is on the Colorado Rockies. I do worry about the bullpen a little bit, but I'll still suck it up and take the Rockies plus 1.5. Also going to take the Kansas City Royals here. I'm just not about to lay anything, even near a coin flip price with the Angels. Noah Syndergaard's been far worse on the road this season. And, if there's a spot where maybe the Royals can steal a win in this series, it's probably this one with Greinke on the hill and at home against this slumping Angels lineup. So give me the Royals in this one.
I'm going to go with the Royals also. I like the over in that game. I think both those pitchers have the ability to stink it up. I think like some, a lot of the Angels' problems, we can blame Rendon, but really the wheels were off the cart before he went down. So I think we could point to Noah Syndergaard, who really hasn't come through as that big free agent signing in the pitcher spot. Why the Angels are so bad this season. You guys know the A's are 30 games back. It's like I was looking at that this morning. It's like only 30 games back. It's July. It's like the 30 back.
Will it get so bad that the A's pass the Angels? Is my question.
They might be 70 games back by the end of the year.
I like the Colorado Rockies. I like the run line as well. I just keep sticking with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like the Royals. I hate Zach Greinke, so it's a play to the over in that one as well, and more of a fade of Syndergaard than anything else. And Diamondbacks, Giants. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. We'll go to our next slot, and it's our final slot of the night. Anyways, Adam Oller's got a paying gig with the A's. He's pitching against Jake Odorizzi. -230. Could take the 1.5 there, Brian. Probably get that thing up to in the 340s, 350s, maybe even 400 range, which is too good to be true. You've got the Mariners taking on the Rangers. The Mariners had that long winning streak coming into the weekend, and they came to the abrupt halt. And Framber Valdez, Justin Verlander, they got the rug. They got the business end of the Astros rotation, right? It's like it's bad enough you catch the Astros, but you catch that Verlander Valdez end of it. It's like, oh man, it's like no mercy. And then you got the Dodgers against the Nationals. Paulo Espino, Ruffalo's got his Espino jersey. It's Brian that has the Espino jersey. He's wearing it loud and proud. What do you guys have to say?
Well, for this one, I'm going to go with the under 8 in the Astros A's game, even if it's a one-sided game like the 6-1 game that we saw when Odorizzi faced the A's earlier this season. I just don't envision this being a high-scoring game for whatever reason. I don't think the A's are going to be able to do much off of Jake Odorizzi, as crazy as that is for me to say. I think this is just, like I said, a low-scoring game, so give me the under 8 there. Give me the Seattle Mariners on the money line. I think they bounce back. I think it was just a case of the All-Star break coming at the worst possible time for the Mariners, and then just running into a freight train in the Houston Astros in their first series back. So give me the Mariners there, and I'll lean towards the Dodgers -2.5, try to get that -320 down to something around plus money.
If you change the I in Odorizzi, it could be Odorizza or Odorizzo.
Odorizzi.
Could be a lot of different. You got a lot of things you could do there. It's a lot of change of letters that work there. Not as many as slot. Slot's a beauty.
That's a beautiful slot.
But it's a nice slot. What a slot, Brian.
And this group in the games here,
we prefer slot.
I don't. This is my least favorite slot of the whole board, and I don't want to be a.
We never thought you met a slot you didn't like.
Use typically not, but I don't want to pull a Ruffalo here and just say I'm going to take a pass. So I'm going to come up with something. I'm going to take two public favorites here. I'll take the Houston Astros, lay the -1.5 negative odds. Odorizzi combined with the Astros bullpen. I just don't see Oakland scoring many runs here today. And then the Dodgers at -1.5 and probably lay in -160, 170. It's just a lean. If I had to pick a game of this side, I just don't see how the Dodgers and Gonsolin don't beat the Nationals by 2. So there's no such thing as an easy gimme bet, but I think the Dodgers at -1.5, I think they'll cover.
Yeah, for me, it is a dirty, filthy slot. Thing about this one is, Jake Odorizzi isn't a -230 guy in my book. He's not. The A's are actually 6-4 over the last 10 and profitable. Adam Oller just sucks. That's the problem that we have here. It's that this isn't an A's problem. This is an Oller problem.
If that was Blackburn out there, or some of the other guys,
anybody. Frankie Montas, anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
If it's Frankie,
anybody.
It doesn't take much to get me on a team like the A's against the Astros.
I mean, especially, but if they're willing to lay the if you get them at plus a run and a half at -400 for the Astros, it's just too good to be true.
It's a hot diggity dog.
It's so good. It's such a strong play. World class, the best handicapper out there. Best one. Sven.
Brian's got his Oller make you holler t-shirt on.
When I was a kid, there was a book called Otto the Goldfish, and he was this goldfish, and he just started growing and growing and growing. He grew out of his bowl. He became this giant goldfish. I don't really remember the whole story, but I used to call my goldfish Otto. Anyways, Paulo Espino still sucks. I'll take the 1.5 here with the Dodgers. Call it my best bet of the day. Game of my life. We could even. Anyways, parlay time. Anyone?
Yep, parlay time for me. I'm going to take the Cleveland Guardians on the money line. I'm going to team them up here with the Colorado Rockies +1.5 and the Philadelphia Phillies +1.5. That'll be my 3-gamer.
By the way, everybody, I forgot to mention this. It is Christmas in July. It is the final week of Christmas in July. If you're looking at a long-term package through football season, it runs 12 months. It's not the end until the end of the year. It's 12 months. This is the time. This is the lowest prices that there will be. If payday's Friday, you do it Friday, whatever the case you may do. Whatever, put on your credit card, make payments, whatever you need to do. If you want a long-term package, this is the week to do it. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it, if I didn't beat that into the ground that I don't feel I did properly today.
Well, for my parlay, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates money line, the Kansas City Royals money line, and the Baltimore Orioles money line.
Taking the Braves, taking the Nerfy in the Marlins game, and the Colorado Rockies plus a 1.5. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Chris, Brian, always a pleasure. See everybody later on. Of course, if you missed the show or you want to listen to it on the go, this show always available on iTunes, Spotify, Odyssey, Audacy, whatever they call it. I don't even know how the hell to pronounce the damn thing. It's available on iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Podbean. Basically, if you are a podcast person, you can find us pretty easily. It's called Picks from the Doghouse. This is Mitch for Chris and Brian. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for making my morning. Let's make it a winning day.